I'll let y'all know the If Healthy hoodies are officially available on runitbackphillyshop.com in all different colors and styles, and the classic Sickos logo is still available on snapbacks, hoodies, and t-shirts. If you like what I do as an independent content creator and you want to support me, the absolute best way to support is to go to runitbackphillyshop.com and cop some merch and represent the brand. And I'm giving you 20% off the entire website for a limited time right now. The promo code is IFHEALTHY, all capital letters, no spaces. runitbackphillyshop.com, 20% off, promo code IFHEALTHY. Thank you so much for the support. Hey man, before we get into this, I want to clear something up. Because yesterday I had a video, and in part of that video, I was kind of roasting the 76ers management for celebrating the 2001 team throwing a 25-year celebration. And I posted the clip on TikTok and Instagram, and I am getting a lot of hate for that because people are calling me ultra negative. You're not a real fan. The 2001 team was a great time, and why can't you just enjoy things? Why are you so miserable? Why are you so negative? Why do you hate the 76ers? Here's what I want. I wasn't trashing the 2001 team. I watched that team. I was a major fan. I was 15 years old. I was in high school. Dude, I was refusing to hang out with friends because I was watching the NBA Finals. And at that age, my friends were like, what are you talking about? Why would you want to watch a basketball game? We have a tent in my backyard, and we're going to drink and smoke and do all kinds of stuff back there. And I was like, I'm not doing that. The Sixers are in the NBA Finals. It was a great time. And of course, I think Allen Iverson is one of the best players ever, and I don't think that team had any business being in the NBA Finals. I don't think you can compare him to many players. Not many players could take that team that far like he did. And at his size, probably no player ever at that size could take that team as far as he did. What I was saying is, for the 76ers to throw a 25-year celebration, 25th anniversary, is sad, because the only reason it's a 25-year anniversary of a team that made it to the NBA Finals is because you never made it there again in 25 years. You never even made it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that team was so special, and that team is remembered by the city so well because they have sucked ever since. That's all I was saying. If you went back to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2010, and then you went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020, you wouldn't feel like the 2001 team was so special. It was so special because it's the only time they've been good other than the early 80s. That's all I was saying. And bringing back those black jerseys, I'm sorry, feels like a desperation move by management and ownership to get fans excited to come back to the arena, because last season they scammed everybody. It was horrible. Season tickets went out the window. Ticket sales went down to $1. And nobody wants to come back. Everybody in the city is mad at this management and ownership. And so they're like, well, let's go ahead and just bring back the only jerseys that they love from the only team that was good. And that'll be enough. It just feels like a scummy, scammy way for ownership to try to get fans to buy back into this upcoming season. And I feel like it's going to be just as much of a disaster as it was last year, and it's not going to work. That's all I was saying. I don't understand how so many people are excited. I don't get it. People are posting screenshots of Joel Embiid and Paul George wearing these jerseys, bro. Who the fuck told you guys they're going to play? Did we watch the same thing last year? I just don't understand how people are falling for this again. Yes, I love the black 2001 jerseys. There's one hanging on my wall, dude, right? It's behind an Eagles poster now. It just feels like a setup and a scam, and I'm sorry. But I just got to keep it real. I just have to be honest, bro. I can't do anything else on here. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you guys to make you feel good. All right, let's see what we got here, man. I did the usual. I typed in Sixers on Google, and I see that our boy Keith Pompey has a Sixers mailbag, and it says, why should anyone care? And I want to see what Keith Pompey has to say in this article if he is going to try to convince 76ers fans that they should care, or if he's going to flat out tell us that we shouldn't care. Let's see what Keith said in this article. Why should anyone care? That was a question. Oh, this is by Adam Aronson. This is not by Keith Pompey. This is by Sixers Adam. And somebody asked him straight up, why should anyone care? Let's see what he has to say. Tuesday morning means it's time for weekly Sixers mailbag from B. Friedman. Why should anyone care about the 76ers? This is one of the most common questions I'm asked in real life, so it is worth writing about here. It is an entirely fair question given the pure misery Sixers fans experienced last season and the number of ominous signs about potential troubles in 2025-26. It is also never my place to tell fans what they should or should not enjoy or care about. Your frustrations and concerns regarding the health and contracts of Joel Embiid and Paul George are more than valid, and it is fair for those things to put a damper on all of this. Perfectly said, Sixers Adam, and thank you for all you little trolls in my social media comments telling me I'm just a negative Nancy. There you go. Does he try to convince us? What I will say is this. One of my favorite parts about covering the team on a daily basis is the ability to observe long-term growth. My first year covering every Sixers game was Tyrese Maxey's rookie season. I watched flashes of promise turn into full-blown stardom. I agree with that. An iconic shot-making display at Madison Square Garden and a contract worth more than $200 million. His first reason is Tyrese Maxey. I love this, actually. Because if I was going to be positive about this team this upcoming season, this is actually the only thing I can think about. And I'm excited to watch Jared McCain. I'm excited to watch VJ Edgecombe as a rookie. If they re-sign Quentin Grimes, which it looks like they're trying to clear cap space to do that, I'm excited to watch Quentin Grimes come back. But none of those players are taking the 76ers anywhere. The only real hope for this team to go anywhere, to make any type of noise this upcoming season, is Tyrese Maxey to take another leap. Tyrese. It is time. This is the season. The Philadelphia 76ers need you to take a leap this season into the number one player on this team, the solidified, the clear-cut number one, and take this team somewhere. I don't expect you guys to win a championship this year, but last year you were thrown into the fire. You thought you were going to have Joel Embiid. Nick Nurse was one of the worst coaches I've ever watched in my time watching basketball. There was no system set up for you, nothing. This season, I think it's time for you, Tyrese Maxey, to take the bull by the horns and get this team into a position where the fans can be excited for the future. And I think you have that ability. I watched you improve every single offseason. I watched you become a 23-year-old all-star at 26 points per game. I watched you improve defensively. I watched you improve as a playmaker and a shot maker. This is the year where you, Tyrese Maxey, put a stamp on the league and show everybody you're the fucking man and you're the new face of the Philadelphia 76ers. This is the year. It's all up to you. There's no other legitimate reason for 76ers fans to be excited for the future unless Tyrese Maxey does exactly that. Hope that rant wasn't too long. Let's, he's excited for Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe. Even lower on the roster, young pieces like Justin Edwards, hometown product with a nice story, and a Dembona. Yeah, but you know, none of those guys are changing this team this upcoming season. The only guy that has the ability outside of Joel Embiid magically being healthy is Tyrese Maxey. Quentin Grimes posted a picture of him in a 76ers jersey yesterday. And that tells me, well, he's coming back anyway. I was just going to say that tells me that he's coming back. He's coming back anyway because he's a restricted free agent. So he's about to sign. But we still don't know what he's about to sign. Is Quentin Grimes excited to come back to Philadelphia because they offered him a multi-year contract that was worth the money that he thinks he's worth? Or is he getting ready to sign the 1-year qualifying offer and he's kind of hinting at that, and then he's going to become an unrestricted free agent next season? I hope it's the first part, because if he signs the 1-year qualifying offer, the 76ers can't trade him because it comes with an automatic no-trade clause. So then they're absolutely screwed, and he just becomes an unrestricted free agent and they get nothing for him. But this post, I don't feel like really tells me anything. But he's about to sign. But he has to sign. Anyway. Liberty Ballers, does Eric Gordon have a place in the 76ers crowded backcourt? Well, if Nick Nurse has anything to do with it, yes, he does have a place in the 76ers crowded backcourt. Now, before I even read this, I'm going to say straight off the bat, Eric Gordon has a little bit of, like, he can still give you a little bit of something, right? He had games last year where he got hot from three and hit like 3 or 4 3-pointers. But he can't be on the floor for more than 5 minutes. If he's hot and it's a defensive lineup and you can hide his deficiencies on the other end, and there's a ball handler on the floor, so God forbid he ever has to dribble the basketball, yeah, he can provide you floor spacing and a catch and shoot ability. But that's really it. For 10 minutes tops, I'm saying. 10 minutes tops. Because what we saw last year with the Eric Gordon situation was he would play for too long, and then he would end up trying to put the ball on the floor. He would end up trying to drive to the basket. He looked like a toddler out there. He can't get off the floor. People were just blocking his shot into the third row without even jumping. It was pretty embarrassing, actually, when Eric Gordon would try to take the ball to the rim. Kyle Lowry, same situation. Neither of those guys at this point should be ever trying to take the ball to the rim. So there is a spot for Eric Gordon, I think, on the end of the bench in a desperation situation. But Nick Nurse has given me no reason to believe that he's not going to play Eric Gordon as a full-time rotational player. So I'm going into this with low expectations. What did Liberty Ballers say here? May have been a bit of surprise to see the Sixers bring Eric Gordon back. So many members of last year's team will be returning to trying to erase a bizarre injury-riddled season. Something weird happened. Gordon took time off in December to get oral surgery. He had to have his wisdom teeth removed. That ended up costing him more time than expected, 12 days in total, but he returned looking like a totally... Did he return looking like a totally different player? Did he really? He would go on to hit 48% of his threes after his return, taking 4.3 of them per game. That stretch would only last 20 games, though, as he got a wrist injury. So, hey, shout out to Eric Gordon for shooting 48% after he returned from the surgery. But then he got hurt again. And he got hurt again because he is old. Everybody needs to understand and accept that these injuries are not random. These guys are ancient. Get younger players, please. The temperature on Gordon in this city is still fairly low. It wasn't helpful to the team at the beginning of last season. The only point there was any room for hope, even with the evidence that he did not completely fall off as a shooter. His re-signing was super not popular among the fan base. This team is unbelievable, bro. Hey, man, listen. I hope this was a positive video for all you crybabies that are tired of me being negative about the 76ers. I will say this, though. You keep coming back. You know, how am I getting 5,000, 10,000 views on videos if you hate the content so much? The reality is you love the content. You just don't know why. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.